Welcome to Kokoda Spirit. I'm Wayne Wetherall, owner and founder of Kokoda Spirit and chief guide. We've been operating in PNG since 2004. We've taken more than 6,000 trekkers safely and happily across Kokoda. We take a mixture of groups from bunches of mates, school groups, military groups, football teams, charity organisations. We can cater for all sorts of different groups and associations for your requirements. You certainly can go as an individual, and we have lots and lots of people who travel as individuals on our tours, males and females. And what we will do, we'll actually slot you into a group that has a bunch of individuals, and you are going to find yourself making some really good friends. Kokoda, with Kokoda Spirit's risk management plan and world-class protocols, we minimise the risks of walking across the Kokoda Trail. Kokoda is a safe destination as long as you go with a reputable organisation. Okay, our trek costs, it's best give us a call in the office or check out our websites, because we do have a number of treks on sale. And we have different levels of pricing for our Australian-led and our PNG local-led treks. But give us a call, check out the website, and let's see what we can do for you. What's included on your Kokoda Spirit trek? Once again, get on our website. We have a very, very comprehensive listing of what's included and what's not included. But fundamentally, your pre and post accommodation is part of your package. With Australian-led treks, your mosquito-proof tent is part of it. Your internal flight to Kokoda or back from Kokoda is part of it. Your transport from Owers Corner or to Owers Corner is part of it. Your visit to Bamana War Cemetery is part of it. A Port Moresby City Tour is part of it. All your food on the track, the general porters, the camping equipment. It's such a comprehensive inclusion list. Get online and have a bit of a look. How do you book? What we need is you to select your preferred date, and we just need name, email and your postal address, and we will send you back out a confirmation letter with your trek date on it and a very comprehensive information pack. It's a $500 deposit, generally paid within 14 days of receiving your confirmation letter, and full payment is not due till 8 weeks before departure. We have an office and logistics both here in Australia and in PNG. We stay at the Gateway Hotel, which is not far. It's only a couple of minutes from the Port Moresby International Airport. The Gateway Hotel has a bag storage area and safety deposit boxes, but I highly recommend that you do not bring any valuables to PNG with you. We give you a comprehensive historical overview of the battles of the Kokoda Trail campaign, and we also inform you about the cultural aspects of our PNG brothers as we go across and through the villages. The major difference between an Australian-led trek and a PNG local-led trek is our Australian guides are professional, passionate and very, very knowledgeable about the Kokoda Trail campaign. So if you're after a trip that embraces the full historical and emotional connection to the battles that took place on Kokoda, then you definitely need an Australian guide. Our PNG guides are from the track. They're brilliant, they're local, but they don't have the same passion and knowledge of the battles. Your camping gear, we have a very comprehensive trekking gear list that you can be found on our website, or give us a call or send us an email and we'll send you out the list of requirements. If you choose to not engage the services of a personal porter, then you will be carrying your own tent. And it's around about 1.8 kilos dry. We give you on arrival in Port Moresby at your briefing, you will be allocated a 2-person mosquito-proof tent, and a tent is supplied to each person. So there's no sharing of tents on the track. You have your own personal space in your own tent. Very, very important that you bring your own medical kit. And once again, we supply you with a comprehensive list of medical supplies that you should bring across the track. You won't hopefully need any of these supplies, but Kokoda is so isolated, it's really essential that you do have a comprehensive medical kit. Shoes, boots. Boots are not essential, but good footwear is essential and critical. As long as it's got an aggressive grip, it's flexible, and you feel comfortable in them, then you can choose your own footwear. But I would say more than 90% of people wear boots across the track, and they wear boots across the track for a very good reason: for foot protection, for grip, and for to avoiding getting wet feet walking through mud and rain. We don't have exclusive use of campsites or guest houses, but generally we occupy the space, and it is Kokoda Spirit's section, but you may find in some of the larger villages and some of the larger campsites that you will have another trekking group who may just be camping just a little bit further up the road from us. Kokoda Spirit does walk the real Kokoda track, the real Kokoda trail. Kokoda is a series of tracks and trails, advanced trails, withdrawal trails. It's quite a very comprehensive network of tracks and trails across there. You will see the major battlefields on the Kokoda Trail campaign. You will see the battles of Isarava, Brigade Hill. They're all part of the experience of walking track. The only easy way to get across the Kokoda track, Kokoda Trail, is by helicopter. And none of us can afford to do that. So, you want to choose your direction you walk? What a great question. Fundamentally, our soldiers walked and fought in both directions. Originally from Oas to Kokoda, then down towards the Kamusi River. Then a fighting withdrawal back from Kamusi, Kokoda, all the way to Urabaila, then advance across the track. Some people say Oas to Kokoda, maybe 3 hours longer. I've walked the track more than 60 times, and I've walked them in both directions, and they're both difficult, both challenging, and you miss out on nothing going in either direction. You minimise your risk on Kokoda track by, number one, walking with Kokoda Spirit, as I said, with our strict protocols and risk management plans. But have a look at our 12 red hot tips. Preparation, preparation, preparation. Physical preparation and mental preparation are absolutely essential and critical to minimising your risk on the Kokoda Trail. You don't have to be an Olympian or an ultra Ironman or a marathon runner, but you do need to have great stamina to get across Kokoda. You need to be in good physical condition. You need to have strong heart, strong lungs, strong quads, and strong calf muscles. Kokoda really is an endurance event, so the pace is not fast, but you do need to make sure that you are in good physical condition to undertake this wonderful challenge. Kokoda Spirit has a very comprehensive training program on our website, or you can email us and we will send it out to you, and it will guide you through the basic requirements needed to ensure that you have a safe and successful trip. As part of your conclusions with Kokoda Spirit, we will present you at a celebration at the end of your journey with your Kokoda Spirit certificate of completion, and you also get our famous Kokoda Spirit cool dry shirt to trek in. Kokoda Spirit helps the villages and communities along the track, number one, by paying Kokoda Track Authority permit fees, by employing the porters and guides and carriers that live along the trail, from buying our fruit and vegetables as we travel across the track and trail as well there. and also each night we pay camp fees to the local landowners. As part of our ongoing support with the communities, we also contribute to the schools with books and medical supplies, and our trekkers generally bring books and sporting equipment for the communities as well. And we also run humanitarian programs with our schools that contribute greatly to the ongoing education of the schools and education places that we visit on our journey across the track. Kokoda Spirit not only abides by the Kokoda Track Authority code of conduct, but we believe that we actually exceed the industry standards. When you arrive in Port Moresby, you'll be greeted at the airport by a Kokoda Spirit staff or by a Gateway Hotel representative, and they will take you to the Gateway Hotel where you'll be settled into your room, and then later that afternoon around about 5 o'clock you'll meet the rest of your trekkers, you'll meet your guide, and a comprehensive briefing will take place. You certainly need a visa for PNG. Australian travellers and trekkers need to get a visa before travelling to Port Moresby, and once again we can send you the details of how you apply for the visa. There's no cost for it, but it is a requirement to enter Papua New Guinea. It's a great question how much money you need for the Kokoda trail. There's not a lot of places to purchase anything on the trail. You can purchase packs of twisties and soft drink. Soft drink varies between 5 and 7 kina. Packet of twisties between 2 and 5 kina. You may want to buy a billen bag, which may cost you around about 100 to 150 kina. And you may choose to, which is not required to give your porter a tip. So somewhere between 200 to 400 kina may be sufficient. Our group size do vary, but our average size is around between 12 and 15 people. Except for our Anzac treks, they do get up to around about 18 to 20 people. But generally you'll find you'll be trekking for our local leg treks between 5 to 12 people, and our Australian led treks somewhere between 10 to 15 people. A personal porter is not necessary, but I'd have to say more than 75 to 80% of all trekkers across Kokoda engage the services of personal porter. It just makes it so much harder carrying your own pack, and the fact that Kokoda has so much to offer, in the way of physical, mental and spiritual challenge. The scenery is magnificent, the rivers are great, the villages are true. If you've just smashed yourself by carrying your pack all day, you're going to miss out on some of the other fundamental advantages of walking the track. So I would suggest either train extremely hard with a very, very heavy pack and have a great crack at it, or engage the services of a personal porter. You get to share a cultural exchange with your personal porter who will be with you every step of the way. If you have a personal porter, yes, you need to supply a backpack. Your personal porter will carry 22 kilos, but your maximum weight of your own personal goods will be between 16 and 17 kilos, because he needs to carry his own equipment as well. Kokoda Spirit has a non-tipping policy, with PNG being a non-tipping society. We don't believe in tipping is necessary, but majority of our groups do decide they want to tip because they find that the service provided by the porters and guides has been exceptional. If you believe that you've received great service from your porter, then sure, feel free to tip. Clothing, caps, sunglasses, headlight torches, anything you don't want to take back to Australia are great gifts to give to the boys. Gaiters are a personal choice. There's lots of, certainly in the wetter season, it helps prevent rain and mud getting into your boots. In the drier season, it helps stop rocks and sticks getting in your boot. If you do decide on gaiters, you don't need the big fancy gaiters. The small cotton gaiters that the lawnmower guys wear are just terrific. They're light and just go over the top of your boots and just below your socks there and give you adequate protection. What do you need to bring for Kokoda? We do have a comprehensive gear list, and we will send it to you. Or once again, it's on our website, and the requirements that you need to bring with you, and it spells it out in quite a comprehensive format. What we believe to be essential items to walk Kokoda. You need to have we believe, between a 70 and 75 litre backpack. This makes it also easier for the porter to carry, and also if you're carrying your own pack, certainly for yourself, and provides adequate room for the necessities to walk Kokoda. If you are engaging in the service of a porter, you yourself will need to have somewhere between a 35 and 45 litre day pack to carry your essentials like your water, snacks, and some medical supplies. One of the great things about Kokoda is there is ample amount of water. The furthest you have to walk on the track, generally, if there's not a drought in place, is about 4 hours, which is about 3 litres of water. So we stop at where we believe the water to be pristine and safe drinking water on a regular basis. So with the water, very, very important that you purify your water. What food do we eat on Kokoda? We have a very comprehensive menu list. We don't use dehydration packs. All our food is brought in and purchased in Port Moresby, and it's prepared freshly on the track by our one-pot chefs, and who are professionally trained, and to be able to prepare nutritional and well-balanced meals with a very, very heavy loading of carbohydrates. So lots of cereals, lots of rice, lots of pasta, lots of potatoes, and when we can source it from the villages, lots of fresh fruit and vegetables as well. We can also cater for gluten-free, and obviously the celiac, vegetarian, and we can even do vegan. And for you guys that are, love your protein, we got the most wonderful spam that you can ever eat. You can certainly bring food into PNG, but once again, the quarantine inspectors will want to see what type of food you've got. And it's the same as coming into Australia. Just declare your food. But certainly the nuts and muesli bars and things like that won't be an issue. One of the unexpected or maybe expected scenarios on the track is the toilet and washing facilities. The toilets are generally long drops or short drops, which is basically just a hole in the ground and with a small hut around it. And so the toilet facilities are very primitive. Each night we will wash in the river, or a piped-in shower that comes from the river, and you do have the opportunity to wash your clothes each night. But just saying that, it's really important to make sure any washing material that you bring with you is environmentally friendly. We don't want to be causing any damages to the rivers or to the environment that we share. Yeah, Kokoda is generally an 8-night, 9-day trek for us. We have an early wake-up call in the morning, normally somewhere between 5 and 5:30, with breakfast served around about 6 o'clock. Generally, we like to start walking about 6:30 in the morning. It's much cooler. It allows us to get a good start into the day. The longest walking days on Kokoda can be up to 8 hours, getting into camp around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But we do have lots of breaks as we go along. Breaks for morning tea, breaks for lunch, and lots of small breaks as we go. The furthest distance we actually only cover is about 15 kilometres in that 8 hours. So the walking pace is quite slow and the terrain is quite difficult. Certainly the best conditions to trek Kokoda are in the Australian winter. So anywhere from the late May, June, July, August through to September are great times. But you can certainly walk in the March, April, right through to October, November. But the chances of rain are a lot more. We certainly don't trek at night. Absolutely, our policy is that you will never walk at night with Kokoda Spirit. Kokoda Spirit has a very efficient and effective risk management plan and evacuation policy. We have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week rear backup, both in Port Moresby and in Australia, that can be implemented in the case of any emergency situation. And we have constant communication back to our Australian office on a daily basis for any other issues that may arise. You aren't required to give the villagers anything. Once again, that's just a personal choice. But once again, things like sporting equipment, footballs, pumps, books, writing material, and things like that are great. The villagers will love that kind of stuff. But it's not essential to bring anything. The accommodation on the track is in 2-people mosquito-proof tents. So you get your own comfortable oasis on the track there. We eat in huts that have been built by the locals. The camping grounds are normally very well grassed and in good condition. But the whole camping grounds, it's quite a primitive but effective camping ground. I would tell you a walking pole is necessary, and yeah, some people use two walking poles and say walking with a pole is 30% more efficient and more effective. I use one pole mainly for the reason of going down hills. It's used as a great braking mechanism, and also takes a bit of pressure on knees, joints. It's absolutely essential. You can't trek with Kokoda Spirit unless you have we have a comprehensive medical and travel insurance policy that we cite. In the very rare and unfortunate situation that you do need to have medical evacuation off the track, it's imperative that you do have a good policy in place. Do I need? Absolutely. A doctor's clearance is mandatory, and once again, without a doctor's clearance, you won't be walking Kokoda with Kokoda Spirit, and we send you out a very comprehensive medical clearance certificate to take to your doctor about 6 weeks before you go trekking. Kokoda Spirit has a very clear and heavily enforced no alcohol and no drugs policy on our journeys. Kokoda is a difficult enough journey as it is without the difficulties of alcohol or drugs, and we also want to make sure that the Kokoda Trail community are 7-day Adventists, and they do not engage in alcohol of any description. So the other part of the policy is making sure we pay complete respect to the communities that we walk through. I certainly hope this has been informative for you. The frequently asked questions, I'm sure you'll probably have a lot more questions. Feel free to pick up the phone and ring us here at Kokoda Spirit, or send us an email, and we will certainly do our best to answer your question. We truly believe a well-informed trekker is going to be a successful trekker. Enjoy your trek.